Hello, my name is Veronica Fembres, and I'm a trans woman. I'm 68 years old, and I've run for public office for several times, for governor, for many things. But I was officially Commissioner of Veterans Affairs back in uh, the early 90s, late 90s. Oh, there's flies. I hate bugs. And this one must be attracted to my hair gel. But anyway, what I'm going to talk to you, and I'll try not to jump when flies come around because I hate them. I absolutely hate flies. But I wanted to talk to you about something else because I also hate misinformation. And the misinformation that uh, Caitlyn Jenner, the Texas legislature, the Texas Republicans, all of those guys are wrong. And no disrespect, I'm just saying guys in a general term. No disrespect ever to Caitlyn Jenner, who's finding herself, but she still needs to find herself because she doesn't know what she's talking about. I've been a nurse for over 40 years, I think now. and, uh, and I also have been a counselor working with young trans women. So, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Back in the old days, and even then, there was questions about the amount of hormones and how feminine a trans woman was, but Dr. Renee Richards went on to be a tennis champion, and she showed them. And there's been Christine Jorgensen showed them a little something. And so what my point is this. The things that we used to have to do as trans women in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the late 90s, the new generation doesn't have to do. So when we're talking about hormone levels and we're talking about um, androgen blockers, I'm sorry, I just told you I hate flies, and one just keeps bugging the hell out of me. But anyway, I'm still trying to get my message across. So, the one thing that I know of is that with the new trans kids, and this means in the last 20 years, or maybe even the last 25 years, they've made progress. So they don't have to do what old school trans pioneers and trans leaders had to do, like me, and like the other old school girls. Um, their hormone levels make them equally competitive with cisgendered or biological girls. And the fact that they want to play on athletic teams, they need to be able to play. They are kids. They are young teens. They are children. They need to play with who they identify with. And there needs to be none of this crap that the Texas legislator is sending to people and telling them, and all these laws are trying to do to hurt young trans kids and teens from participating in athletics and sports. So the bottom line is, Caitlyn Jenner doesn't know, and you guys in the Texas legislature don't know what you all are talking about. Trans kids should be able to play on the teams that they identify with. They are not like the old school. They're not like me. They're even better they're even better because they don't have to go through all the stuff that old school girls had to go through. They're being supported more by their families. They don't have to go out and do all the horrible stuff that we used to have to do, or stuff that we used to have to do. It wasn't all horrible. A lot of it was fun. But nonetheless, trans kids should be able to play on the team in which they identify. So if you have a young trans boy and he wants to play on the boys' team, by all means, he should be able to do that. If you have a young trans girl and she wants to be on the girls' field hockey team, let her. She's equivalent to those girls hormonal-wise. She has no added strength. uh, regardless of what she was born with, she has no added strength. She's just as weak and just as delicate as the other women, other cisgender girls. For me, at my age, like I said, I'm 68, and I want you to know that at 68, they wanted my hormone level to be the same so that they can pick any 10, out of 10 women, they can pick me and all of us, with me out of the 10, and all of the women, including myself, would have the same hormone levels. That's a fact. So, legislature is not medical, they're not doctors, and the way they're coming across in Texas, they're not even human, because they need to make sure that this is they stop trying to pass that lie and fallacy that there's some advantage to that. There's no advantage. It's equal footing and equal ground, and that's all we ever wanted, was equality. So, that being said, I want to take this time and say that. And thank you for listening. My name is Veronica Fembres. I'm here at the former Cliff House, and I'm on the beach in San Francisco, California. But I wanted the Texas people, the Texas legislature, to be aware that what they were passing out as information, and to set policy and to legislate laws, that they need to get the facts before they start doing that. And from what I've seen, they don't care too much about facts, because most of them are Republican, and Republicans and facts don't usually equate. They're on this trip. But I want the trip to end. You should not be persecuting trans kids. Let them live. Let them be kids. Let them be who they are. Appreciate them, treasure them, and value them. That being said, I thank you for listening. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a blessed day. Peace. Ciao.